is there, Minashi is there, Mazia is there, Atif is there. Almost. Alvia is not there. So today we were supposed to conduct the Viva for digestion and absorption chapter. We'll do that when so who are the participants? Four participants are there. Sham is not there. And who else is not there? Alvia is not there. Sham and Alvia. Fine, no issue. So should we start? Who will be the volunteer? Come on. Who is going to be volunteer? Samaira, should I start with you?
Yes.
Great. So it's 9. Fine. So tell me, I have a question for you. Like I have told you that humans are. I'll look before starting this session. I want to tell you how it will go on. From each of you, individually, I will ask 4 questions. And the first thing is that if suppose that if I am asking question to someone, first he or she will reply. In case if he or she is not able to answer that question, then it will be open for all of you, and the person who will reply for the same question, he or she will get the marks for that, right? So but first preferentially the person whom I am asking, he or she will reply me, right? So let me write it down the name. Samaira. First it will be Samaira. And second, Atif. Okay. Third one is Minashi. And then fourth one is Mazia. Ishtisham is absent. And even Alvia is absent. Hope they may rejoin us. So first, my question to you, Samaira. I have told you that humans are diphyodont. What does mean by diphyodont?
Humans have 2 sets of teeth that are permanent and temporary. So that's why.
Very good. Very excellent. Now my second question to you. The second question is, what is the length of esophagus? The same question I've been asked in medical examination.
25 centimeter.
Very good. Excellent. 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 2 more questions. Tell me the name of hormone which is secreted from stomach. Name of hormone which is secreted from the stomach, and that stimulate the secretion of HCl and rest of the enzymes.
Oh.
The hormone secreted from stomach, and it help in the secretion of enzymes from stomach, or it control the secretion of enzyme from stomach.
So don't know.
No, fine, no issue. So now the question is open for rest of you. Anyone of you?
Sir, gastrin.
Very good. Even Maziha have given the answer, and along with that, Atif have also given the answer. Atif and Maziha. So both will get 1 marks extra, right? So I'll give you 1 marks extra. Atif and Maziha have also told that. Okay, fine. Okay. So the fourth question for you, Samara. Even the same thing will lie to with you, Samara. If you will, like we have practiced earlier this one, like if you will answer the question, then you will get the 1 extra mark. Fine. By this way, you can compensate your 1 mark. Again, there is one more question. Tell me the longest part of small intestine.
Ileum.
Very good. So, fine. Now the second one is Atif. Ready, Atif?
Yes.
So, tell me the shortest part of small intestine.
Duodenum.
Duodenum. Very good. Correct. So, okay. Fine. Again, tell me the name of hormone which is secreted from small intestine. Name of hormone which is secreted from small intestine. Yes, Atif.
Secretin.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. Now the third question to you. Tell me the another name of alpha amylase or salivary amylase. Tell me the another name of alpha amylase or salivary amylase.
No, sir, I don't know.
Okay. So any one of you, the rest of the people?
Tynan.
Padialin.
Very good. Thailand. Good, good. So who else have told? Like Samara, I saw. Samara told and
I said.
Mazia. Okay, great. He's doing wonder today. Fine. So the fourth question. So the fourth question to you, Atif, it's for you. Tell me the name of cells which secrete HCl.
So can you repeat the question?
Tell me the name of cell which secrete HCl. The cells which secrete HCl in gastric gland. I have told you the name of cells, and it's very important. In even this question I've been asking medical. Tell me the name of cell which secrete HCl. Anyone else? Very good. Mazia is doing wonder today. Excellent. I'm impressed. Okay. So now next
Sir,
is
what is the answer?
that is parietal cell. Parietal
Okay,
cell, oxyntic cell. Yes, both are the same things, same cells, same name. Oxyntic cell and parietal cell.
okay, sir.
Fine. So these were very important questions. Now it comes to the Minashi. So Minashi, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Minashi, what is the pH value of bile juice secreted from liver? I repeat it
7.6.
again. pH value of bile juice secreted from liver.
8.6.
Very good. Very good. Be a bit louder. Very good.
Yes.
Next question. Tell me the name of pancreas cell which secrete pancreatic juice or exocrine function or enzyme. Tell me the name of pancreas cells, the name of the cells which are found in pancreas, and they secrete enzyme.
Pancreatic enzyme.
Pancreatic cell. Pancreatic.
Cells of acne.
Sorry.
Cells of acne.
Okay, very good, very good. Cells of acne, very excellent. Okay. And how many teeth are found in kids? Very simple
20.
question. How many?
20.
Very good. Excellent. Last question for you. Which is the largest salivary gland?
Parotid.
Very good. Wow, great. All 4 questions you have. Mazia, if you will, even if you will answer one question, then you will complete your, you'll get 100%. So today she has performed like out of the way. Very good. So Mazia, this question is for you. What is the function of cecum? What is the function of cecum?
So it absorbs fluids and salts and in the intestine.
What is the function of cecum?
It absorbs fluids and salts after the completion of intestinal digestion.
Yes, it helps in intestinal digestion, but it have a particular function, specific function.
It mixes with the content called mucus.
Mhm. Anyone else? Oh, come on. No one. There are certain bacteria which are found in our large intestine. They produce vitamin K and vitamin B complex. Yes. And they help in absorption of vitamins. Okay.
So
Bacteria. E. coli. Vitamin K and vitamin B complex for manufacturing. No issue. Second question for you. Tell me, what is the function of Peyer's patches? What is the function of Peyer's patches? Found in small intestine. Peyer's patches. Found in small intestine, the ileum part.
So they help in preventing the growth, I guess, growth of pathogens.
Sorry.
They
Again.
prevent growth of. They prevent the growth of bacteria.
Yes. They
in
prevent the
intestine.
growth of bacteria. So what they do actually? Almost you are correct.
They do population control.
They produces the WBC.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll give you 1 marks because yes, they produce a WBC and prevent the growth of pathogens. So almost your answer is correct. Again, what is the pH value of saliva? What is the pH value of saliva?
6.2
6 point?
2 to 7.5. No, 7.6.
It's slightly acidic. Generally, we say the saliva is slightly acidic.
7.6.
7.6 will be basic, not acidic. Slightly acidic means it will be below 7.
6.7.
6 point? Yes.
6.7.
Yes, 6.78. Again, last question for you. What is the function of a gallbladder? Tell me. What is the function of gallbladder? Yes, Mazia.
So the function of gallbladder is to store bile,
Very good.
and the bile helps in digestive breakdown of fats.
Very good. Very good. Fine. Very good. Outstanding performance. You did very well. Ishtisham is absent today. Yes. Alvia is absent today. Even fine. So good. Very good. All of you did a very good job. And I'll give you feedback as well. Give it to Niskati. Fine. So let's start with the today's session. And today we are going to study. It's a very light kind of topic, but you know they're like body movement and what's there? Just waiting. Oh, Alvia is there. Alvia, am I audible to you? Yes, Alvia, am I audible to you? Yes, are you there? Alvia, can you listen to me?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So are you ready for, like, we were about to sum up with the like wind up with the Viva, but fortunately you entered at the right time. So now this is your session. Again, I'll the same way. I'll ask 4 questions to you, and you have to answer the question. And I'll ask 4 questions to you. And in case if you won't be able to answer, rest of the people will get the chance to answer the same question. Right? Final, yeah.
Okay.
So first question for you. I have taught you that humans are thecodont. What does mean by thecodont? Humans are thecodont. What does mean by thecodont? Yes, Alvia.
It means that the base of the tooth is enclosed in jaw sockets.
Jaw socket. Very good. Very good. Excellent. So correct answer. Again, second question for you. So there are some small no, I have asked this question. What is the role of vermiform appendix, or what is the role of appendix in human body? What is the role of appendix in human body?
It acts as a
It acts as?
for good bacteria
Yes, very good.
and reboot the digestive system after diarrheal illness.
Okay. But I have also told you, like, I have told you something else, like you are correct, but what I have told you, that it's a type of, what type of organ?
Uh,
Vestigial organ. Anyway, you are correct.
yes.
Yeah, you must start from here only. It's a vestigial organ. It do not have a function. And I have told you that it used to digest cellulose in our ancestors, but in the due evolution, during the evolution path of the evolution, it become deactivated. Now it is functionless in our body. But yes, it do have store good bacteria. Okay, fine. So there is an enzyme. There is an enzyme which is found in human, but it is absent in herbivores. Tell me the name of that enzyme. Tell me the name of enzyme which is absent in herbivores, but it is found in human, and it work in human.
Mm.
No idea?
No, sir.
Anyone else?
So salivary appendix.
Very good, very good. So Samaira got one extra mark. Okay. Again, fourth question for you, Alvia.
Okay.
I have told you a disease named mumps. Mumps. What is it? How it is caused? Mumps.
Mumps is uh, is, um,
Yes, I have dictated in my notes. Mumps. What is mumps? Is it a type of infection or?
mumps. I guess mumps is transmitted by saliva.
Yes, but what is mumps?
It's
Yes, anyone else?
When one or two pathogenic gland is there.
Yes, yes. Yes, Minashi?
One or two pathogenic glands are involved.
Parotid glands are?
Involved. Say
Yes,
infection.
parotid glands are involved. Yes, very good, very good. So swelling takes place. How does swelling takes place? I explained that. By the bacterial infection. Yes. So who told that? Minashi, it was you who told that. You answered that this question, Minashi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I'll give you 1.5 marks to you, Minashi, for this one. Yeah, where the Minashi? Yes, Minashi again 1.5 marks extra. Fine, very good. Alvia, you haven't revised the notes which I have dictated. Yes, am I correct or not?
yes,
Yes,
sir,
Alvia.
because I am like,
Yes, yes, yes.
so I'm actually like pretty sick these days, like from I guess 5 or 6 days. So I haven't revised that much.
Okay, no issue, no issue. Try better to perform next time, right? Next Viva, I expect you better.
Yeah.
Fine. Anyway, you all are doing your like all are doing good job, but I want more quick response from all of you, right? And more frequent, and that will be possible when you will revise again and again and again, because all these things are new for you, right? So now, without wasting any time, now we will start with the for today's session. And what we are going to do today, we are going to start with a new topic, and that is the body locomotion and movement part. And in locomotion and movement part, there are actually two parts. So the first part is that is the first part. So yes. So first part is in NCRT. The first part is sliding filament theory and muscular movement. We'll cover later. And the first part which we are going to cover, that will be the skeletal structure, right? So we'll start by one. Body movement and locomotion. Name of the chapter is locomotion and body movement. Locomotion. Movement. And the first one will be locomotion and movement. In locomotion and movement, the first topic will be human skeleton. Skeleton, right? So let me show you the human skeleton structure. And one second. Give me just a second. Okay. So this is the human skeleton structure, and we are going to discuss human skeleton from like lateral view and as well as uh, dorsal and ventral, both of the views. So I think now it should be completely visible to all of you, right? Okay. So let's start with the human skeleton structure. Look. So we have two kind of the skeleton, exoskeleton and endoskeleton. So before starting, I want to give you some introduction. Like we have two kind of the skeleton. So what is the skeleton? Skeleton is those are morphological or physical structure which help us to move our body part, which help us to move like give shape, which help us to give shape to our body. They make our body infrastructure firm and give a particular shape to particular organism. So out of skeleton, there are two kind of this, right? So the first kind of skeleton is exoskeleton. Exoskeleton is found out of our body, outside of our body. Like that is a morphological part, right? Like nails, that is exoskeleton part, right? Hair, that is exoskeleton part. So these are external structure. They help in protecting our body. They help in giving shape to our body, right? So they are exoskeleton. Endoskeleton structure are those structure which are found internally in our body. So the another one is endoskeleton. So today we are going to study endoskeleton structure, right? So endoskeleton. So our endoskeleton is made up of two things. First, bone, and second one is muscles. What kind of the muscle? Skeletal muscles. So bone and skeletal muscles are responsible for that. Bones and skeletal muscle. Right? So there are two things: bone and skeletal muscles. They are the responsible for the formation of our skeleton, right? Or skeletal structure. So we'll study about the bone structure, right? So first, please note it down. Yes. The hard external or internal structure of animal body, the hard external or internal structure of animal body constitute skeleton. Full stop. The skeleton which is external, is known as exoskeleton. Like nails, hair, etc. Full stop. Next point. The endoskeleton consists of those hard part which are present inside body. Of animal. Full stop. The function of endoskeleton is support, movement, support.
So the function of endoskeleton.
Function of endoskeleton is support, movement, protection, movement, give shape to body, shape to body, comma, mineral reservation. Mineral reservation. How does the mineral reservation do? I'll look in mineral. I'll discuss all this. In mineral reservation, actually, our bones are the depositor of calcium and phosphate, right? So whenever we eat extra amount of the calcium and phosphate, and when these are present in our blood in extra amount, so they get deposited in bones, and whenever we require them back, they are when they require them back, they comes to like they get deposited in our body again, right? That's how they support our body. That's how they reserve the mineral, right? So there are the site of reservation as well. And next, they also help in and they help in breathing. We have already studied that how the external intercostal and rib cage is responsible for breathing movement. So these were the function of endoskeleton system. Now let's study the endoskeleton system. Look, this upper part is called skull, right? Skull means this the part which is present in our head part, right? That is actually skull part. These shoulder are made up of the bones. They are actually called clavicle, right? This central bone which is present in our body, that is called sternum, right? Again, these are the ribs. So this is the frontal view of, so in the like this middle part, where this middle part, right? This middle bone which is like dagger like shape. So this middle bone is called actually sternum, right? And these are the rib cage. So this is the front, this is the front structure, this is the means this is the ventral structure, this is the dorsal structure, and the back side, this backbone is actually called vertebral column, right? Again, the hands are this part. This part is actually called pelvic girdle, right? So pelvic girdle, this part is actually called pelvic girdle, right? So the pelvic girdle from backside, they make our hip structure. So this is the front part. This front part, please try to focus over here. This front part where girdle-like structure is present, that is called pelvic girdle. And from the back, it is made up of three things: ilium, ischium, and pubic, right? So they actually make our hip. So there are ilium, ischium, one set here and one set here. So these are actually called innominate bone. Innominate bone, right? All these three are called innominate bone. And innominate bone means hip bone. Hip bone. So innominate bone or hip bone is made up of three bones, that is called ilium, ischium, and pubis. And from the front side, it is called frontal. This is called pelvic girdle, right? Again, our hand is made up of two bones, radio and ulna, right? This upper part is called actually humerus, radius, ulna. These wrist are called carpal. Carpal. So this wrist part where this is jointed, this part is called actually carpal. Again, the like what is the present? So this wrist part is called carpal, and this part actually. So where the bones are inside this part, these part are called metacarpal, and these finger are called actually phalanges, right? So these fingers are called actually phalanges. Again, the longest bone of our body, that is called femur. There is a kneecap, right? This patella is called actually kneecap. Kneecap. So this kneecap is actually called patella. Again, our the lower part of the leg is made up of tibia and fibula, two bones. Again, there are like in at the between this bone and the ankle, there are some small bones. They are called tarsals, and again the front part, that is called phalanges. So this is our skeletal system. Clear? Got an idea?
Yes, sir.
So now we will study one by one. First, we'll start from the skull. So first part is skull. Look, one more thing. You must have seen, like in the weak people, you must see this in the back side, this back part, you will see is easily a triangular structure below the shoulder. Have you seen that? In older, like in like weak boys, you can see this. Weak kids, you can see this, right? This triangle. This is actually called a scapula. So the shoulder part is called what? Clavicle. and the back part of the clavicle, which looks somewhat triangular structure, that is called a scapula, right? First, we will start from the skull. I will keep on telling you the questions which have been asked in medical examination already. You will get number of the question from this chapter and from both of the part, like from the joint part, from the bone part. Right? So you'll get question, and I will keep on telling you the. So put the first heading, the skull. The skull, right? So first study. Let's study the skull. Let me show you the skull first. The skull, where is that? Yes, it is there. Look, this is our skull. So skull, please focus whatever I am saying you. First, we are going to study about the bones which are present in this cranium. So what is the cranium? Cranium, this part, this upper part, right? This part is actually covering our brain. So the part which is covering our brain, which is behaving, which is working as a box of the brain, or it is called brain box, that is called cranium. So first we will study about the cranium bones, right? So look, how many bone makes cranium? So first is a part is cranium. So cranium means bone box, brain box, sorry, brain box. So the name of the bones which make, so this part, this is called frontal. Frontal means, the term frontal means that is front, right? So the bone which is present in the front, that is called actually frontal bone, right? Just a minute. Bones of the cranium. Yes. So one frontal bone. So one frontal bone is found over here. Frontal means the part which makes the front. So frontal, these all are Latin term. So front. So front part is made up of this frontal bone. There is a one frontal bone. Again, there is a term parietal. So parietal is also working as a brain box, right? So there are actually two parietal bones. Parietal bones means back of the roof, right? So the term parietal means that is back side of the roof, right? So roof side. So this is parietal bone, right? Again, so the cranium is made up of one frontal, two parietal, and again one temporal. This not one, two temporal at the both of the side. Two temporal here and here. So temporal means temple means, so temporal means temple part. So temporal means temple. So two temporal and one occipital. This is occipital. The term occipital reflect that is the back of a skull. Occipital means back side of a skull. Back of the skull. Right? Occipital. Again, there is a one sphenoid bone. Sphenoid is a wedge shaped. It is like X, mouth of X, wedge shape, right? So one sphenoid bone. So this is one sphenoid bone, and there is one more bone. This is this white color part. This is called one ethymoid bone. So one ethymoid bone, right? So these are the bones of the skull. Whatever I have covered with the green color, these are the bones of the skull. So how many bones are there? So the question have been asked in medical examination, the number of the bones which make our cranium. So let's count. 1, 3, again plus 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. It should be 9. Occipital, yes, occipital is there. One occipital. So let's count again. How many bones are there? No, there will be 8 bones. Yes, 8. 1, 2, what, right, 3, 3 to 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. So there are total 8 bones total which make cranium. Please note it down. The cranium is called brain box. Cranium is called brain box. Full stop. It is cranium is called brain box. It is made by it is made by it is made by 8 bones. Full stop. The bones are 1 frontal, comma, 2 parietal, 1 frontal, 2 parietal, comma, 2 temporal, 2 temporal, comma, 1 occipital, 1 occipital, comma, 1 sphenoid, 1 sphenoid. Sphenoid means wedge shaped. 1 sphenoid, wedge shaped, and 1 ethymoid, and 1 ethymoid. 1 sphenoid and 1 ethymoid. Ethymoid means sieve-like, means filter-like. Sieve-like. Right? Always remember the meaning of these bones, then you will be able to recall it more quicker during your examination. Right? Full stop. One more line. Please note it down. Cranium cavity is the space where our brain is lodged. Cranium cavity is the space where our brain is lodged. Again. So, bone of faces, face bone. So next heading is face bone. Look, in medical examination, I have seen a question number of the time, and you will get the 4 core bones. Which of the following is not a facial bone, or which of the following is facial bone? This kind of the question I have seen in medical examination, right? So even they can ask you like which of the following is cranium bone, which of the following is not cranium bone, how many bones makes cranium? That question have already been asked. So these kind of the questions are framed like they frame this kind of the question. So accordingly, you have to take care of all these questions. So how many bones make the face? First question. So there are total 14 bones which make the face, and these facial bones I'm going to draw with the red color, right? So there are face bones. So 2 zygomatic bone. Look, 2 zygomatic bones. This actually zygomatic means the cheek. So they are called cheekbone, right? So zygomatic means cheek. So there are 2 zygomatic bones. These 2 bones. These are 2 zygomatic bones. Next, there are 2 maxilla. So this upper jaw is called maxilla. Maxilla means upper jaw. So upper jaw maxilla is made up of 2 bones, and again 2 nasal bones. Look, 2 nasal bones. Nasal means nose bone, nose bones. Again, there are 2 lacrimal bone. 2 lacrimal bone. Actually, there are this is the place where the lacrimal glands are found. Tear glands are technically called lacrimal gland, right? So tear glands are called technically lacrimal gland. So lacrimal means tear. Let me write down tear. Nasal means nose. You know it. Nasal means nose, right? So 2 lacrimal, 2 nasal, 2 zygomatic, 2 maxilla, right? Again, 1 vomer. Vomer, I think it should not be visible to you, right? 1 vomer, facial bone, vomer is not visible. 1 vomer. Actually, vomer bone is found inside this structure. So you want 2 palatine bones. These bones, palatine bones, 2 palatine bones. Palatine means palate, and 2 nasal conchae. Nasal conchae are found inside our nose, nasal cavity. 2 nasal conchae. Nasal. Look. Wait. 2 nasal conchae. So yes, that's it. So 2 nasal conchae, and again 1 mandible. Where is that? Yes, 1 mandible. Mandible means chin part. Chin. So now let's count. 5 are these bones. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So total 14 more, right? So please note it down. There are 14 facial bones. There are 14 facial bones. Which makes our face. Full stop. These are 2 lacrimal, comma, 2 nasal, 2 lacrimal, 2 nasal, comma, 2 zygomatic, 2 zygomatic, comma, 2 maxilla, 2 zygomatic, 2 maxilla, 1 mandible, 1 mandible, comma, 1 vomer, 1 vomer, 2 palatine, 2 palatine, 2 nasal conchae, 2 palatine, 2 nasal conchae. Full stop. The third part is that these bones are not visible to you. You won't be, other than these, there are some bones which are found inside our skull. You won't be, like the bones of ear. You won't be able to see all those bones of ear, right? So put the C heading, subheading C, and the C part is, that is bones of ear, right? So what we call the bones of ear? Bones of ear. Actually, bones of ear are called ear ossicles. We call them ear ossicles. Ear, OSSICLES, ear ossicles, right? So these are ear ossicles. So there are totally 3 bones this side and 3 bones this side. So total 6 bones, right? Out of these ear ossicles, 2 malus, 2 malus, 2 incus, and 2 stapes. So there are total 6 bones, right? 6 bones. So these are called ear ossicles. So 3 this side, 3 this side. Out of them, stapes is the smallest bone. Please note it down. Ear, bone of ear, or ear ossicles. So please note it down, this one. 2 malus, 2 incus, 2 stapes. Full stop. Each ear contain 3 ear ossicles. Each ear contain 3 ear ossicles. Full stop. Stapes is the smallest bone. Stapes is the smallest bone. Now the last bone, this is called hyoid bone. Some of the scientists say that this is part of the skull, but many of scientists also say that this is not at all the part of the skull. So that is a debatable issue. We have studied this bone in our respiratory system. When I was teaching you respiratory system, I have told you that some of the scientists considered it as a bone of respiratory organ, but some of the scientists say that this is the bone of the skull part. So please note it down. Hyoid bone is situated. Hyoid bone is situated at the upper part of throat, at the upper part of throat, just above larynx, just above larynx. Let's stop. Although it is not a bone of skull proper, although it is not a bone of skull proper, although it is not a bone of skull proper. Full stop. So these all were the bone of skull. Tell me, is it clear or any doubt? Do you have any doubt?
Sir, what about the occipital bone?
What about
The occipital bone below the temporal bone.
actually this occipital condyle? I have look. We have marked at the wrong spot. Look, tell me, make it more clear. This is actually occipital bone. Make it more clear. This is actually one occipital bone. So we have studied that is the back of the skull. How many occipital? One occipital bone. Yes, one occipital bone. And below the occipital bone, there is a part which is called occipital condyle. Right? Occipital condyle means, look, our backbone. So the tip part, this apex part of the backbone, it get fit into where? It get fit into what? Skull, right? Where the skull is rotating. So my skull is rotating on this, skull is rotating on this backbone part, right? So the backbone, where backbone get fits, so that is pit like structure. That pit is called
We can't hear you.
Yes, it's not a bone actually. This is a pit like structure, right? One more important thing I want to tell you. Can you tell me the answer of this question? Bird can rotate their head completely 360 degree, but we can't rotate more than 180 degree. Yes, why?
Sir, we weren't able to hear you for some time while explaining about the occipital condyle.
I'm not audible properly.
Sir, you were not audible. While you're explaining about the occipital condyle, we were
Fine.
not able to hear you.
Okay. Again, I'm going to explain you. Right now, am I audible to you? Clearly audible?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So look, occipital is a bone. Below the occipital, there is a pit-like structure. There is a depression-like structure. At this depression, our backbone gets fit, right? So this is the pit where backbone get fit and backbone rotate on this pit, right? So this our skull rotate on this backbone with the help of this pit. This pit is called actually occipital condyle. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So occipital is a bone and occipital condyle is that pit where backbone gets fit, head of the backbone get fits. Now I have a question for you. Please tell me that birds are able to rotate their head at 360 degree, but we humans and most of the animal cannot rotate, most of the mammal cannot rotate their head at more than 180 degree or 270 degree. They cannot rotate their head by 360 degree. Why? Any one of you? Any idea? Look, we have two occipital condyle, means there are two depressions. Hence, we are called dicondylic. Please keep it in mind. So we are dicondylic. So this skull is dicondylic. So we have two holes, and the backbone's head also have two parts. It is bifurcated, and backbone's head, it gets stuck in two parts, right? So we are dicondylic. That's why we cannot rotate our head more than 180 degree, right? Again, like the birds are monocondylic. They have one condyle hole, and they have one this is steep part of the like the one pointed edge of the backbone, and that's why they can rotate their head freely. That's why they can rotate. So birds are monocondylic. Technically, birds are monocondylic. Hence, they can rotate their head at 360 degree. But humans and rest some of the mammals are dicondylic, so they cannot rotate their head more than 180 degrees. Is it clear to you, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Great. Now put the next heading, and that is this skull, only the skull part was a bit difficult, not too much difficult. You have to remember the name, otherwise like you'll miss the question. Believe on me, a number of the time the question have been asked from cranium and facial bones, right? So you can get the question from the cranium and facial bones. At least you will have to revise like 5 or 6 times, then you will be able to memorize the name of these bones. One more important thing, I have told the meaning of these bones. So if you'll keep the meaning in your mind, then you will be able to answer the question quickly. So next heading is backbone or vertebral bone. Let's put the heading. Bones of backbone. So bones of backbone or vertebral bone. Look. So this backbone curvature is a symbol of evolution. So this is also an evolutionary remark that our backbone is curved. Otherwise, the straight backbone is the animals which have a straight backbone. That is not, they are not advanced animals. The animals which have curved backbone, that is a symbol of evolution. So total number of the bones are there. So this each bones, like every bone. So every piece is called vertebrae. So every piece is called vertebrae. Vertebrae. So vertebrae is, that is the actually single unit bone or single or unit bone of backbone. Again, so vertebral column is made up of total. It is made up of total 33 vertebrae. But what happens? The last these sacrum and this coccygis. Out of these, this sacrum is made up of, it is a fusion, right? So in starting, when a person take birth, on that time it have 33 vertebrae. At the later age, means when it becomes grown up child, what happened? These last bones get fused and they become one bone. So sacrum is made up of 5 bones. So 5 vertebrae get fused and they make, out of 33, so 5 becomes 1, right? Again, this coccygeal is also fusion of 4 pieces of bone. So 4 vertebrae get fused. So what happened? That is total how many bones get fused? 5 and 4. And the 5 and 4 become what? It become one bone and it become one bone, right? So out of this, so 5 like minus 9. So minus 9, how much that? So it will become 30 and it will become 34. Sorry, 24. And 24 and plus 2. So there are total 26 vertebrae in adult. And in child, there are only 33 vertebrae. So in adult human being, 26 vertebrae are found in vertebral column. Is it clear? Out of these, there are total 7 cervical. Cervical means, cervix part means neck part, right? So around the neck, there are 7 cervical, 7 thoracic. Thoracic means respiratory cavity, right? Respiratory cavity, right? There are total 12 thoracic, 7 cervical, 12 thoracic. How many lumbar? So there are 5 lumbar, 5 lumbar, right? And 1 sacrum and 1 bicep, right? So there are total 7, 5, 19, 19, and again 20, 21, and these 5, 26. So these are the total 26 bones in the backbone. Is it clear or not? Lumbar means digestive part. Right? Thoracic means respiratory part. Cervical means, cervix means neck. Right? Clear or not?
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Great. So
Yes,
please
sir.
note it down. Put the heading vertebral column. Take the screenshot and put the heading vertebral column. The vertebral column is about 71 centimeter long. Vertebral column is about 71 centimeter long. Let's stop. It is curved and made up of 33 vertebrae. It is curved and made up of 33 vertebrae. Let's stop. Next one. However, it consists of 26 bone. However, it consists of 26 bone because 5 sacral vertebrae, 5 sacral vertebrae fuse to form 1 sacrum. 5 sacral vertebrae fuse to form 1 sacrum, and 4 coccygeal vertebrae and 4 coccygeal vertebrae and 4 coccygeal vertebrae fuse to form 1 coccyx. Full stop. So these were the bones of vertebral column. Clear? Again, you have noted down that the 7 thoracic, 7 cervical. In case if you have not noted down, please note it down. 7 cervical, 12 thoracic. There are total 7 cervical, total 7 cervical, comma, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, comma, 1 sacrum, and 1 coccygeal bone. So what is the formula? Again, sometimes they ask you formula of backbone. So what is the formula of backbone? The formula of backbone is, let me tell you what is the formula. The formula is backbone. C7 means cervical 7, T12 thoracic 12, L5 lumbar 5, S5 in bracket. 5 means gamma means fused. Sacrum means 1 sacrum, and C4 that is also in bracket means they are the fused bone. So this is the actually formula for the vertebral column or backbone, right? Note it down the formula. This is called vertebral formula. This is called vertebral formula. Vertebral formula. So next part is that bones of a ribs bone, right? Rib bone. The next heading is the sternum and ribs. Ribs. Yes, the sternum, sternum and ribs, right? So let me show you first the diagram. Let me make you understand, then I'll make you to write it down. Look, this is basically sternum bone. So for explaining the sternum bone, first I need to make you understand what is actually ribs. Look, this is actually rib cage. This is actually called a rib cage. Look, so in rib cage, this the bone which is found over here, like where the bone which is found at this part, this part is called, this is called actually sternum. So sternum is found actually in between. So this bone, so this part, this complete part, this part is this bone, this dagger-like bone which is pointed at its extreme end. So this complete bone is called the sternum bone, or this is called breastbone as well. The extreme point of this bone is called Savoid process. So Savoid process is a very sharp kind of dagger-like structure. So the above structure, this structure is of exclusively sternum. Look, uh, this part is called clavicular notch. Actually, the bone of the shoulder, that is a clavicle, it get fit over here. That's why this is called clavicular notch. Again, uh, this upper broad part is called manubrium, right? This main part is called body. So the first part is called manubrium, this wider part. Second part is called actually body, and the third extreme part is called Savoid Process, right? So we have divided the bone in three parts. The upper notch where clavicle get fits, that is called clavicular notch, right? And the fact for the attachment for postal cartilage. So 1 to 7 ribs. So 1 to 7 ribs, all 7 ribs get attached over here, right? So all these 7 ribs get attached over. Ribs do not directly fuse. Actually, they fuse with the help of these cartilages. So they are called actually postal cartilages. So with the help of cartilage, it get attached. Let me make you more clear. Look, this is the first thoracic vertebra. This is the first rib, right? These ribs are attached with these this front part. So their ribs directly do not get fused. Actually, they remains attached with a cartilage called costal cartilage. So costal cartilage attach the ribs. That's why ribs are a bit flexible kind of the structure. In front, so from the front, they remains attached with the help of costal cartilage, and at the backward, they remains just attached with the backbone. They do not get fused with the backbone, right? Look again. So the total we have 12 ribs, 12 pair of ribs. But please keep it in mind, from 1 to 7 ribs are only true ribs. Why they are called true ribs? Actually, they directly get attached with the this one. What? They directly get attached with this sternum bone, right? So this is called true ribs. So they get attached with the true ribs. Again, the lower part from 8 to 12, right? So not these 8 to 12, actually 8 to 10, they are called false ribs. So why they are called false ribs? Actually, from 8 to 10, 8, 9, and 10, these three bones, they attach this one, this one, this one, and this one. They indirectly attaches with the this one, where sternum. Actually, they do not directly attach with the sternum. They get fused with the seventh bones, right? So they indirectly get attached to the sternum. That's why they are called false ribs. So they attaches with the seventh rib, right? Again, the 11th and 12th ribs, they do not get attached anywhere. They keep on floating. And in medical examination, the question I've been asked, what is the function of these floating ribs? Actually, their function is to protect our kidney. They actually protect our kidney. And the last one, last thoracic vertebra. So this is the first thoracic vertebra from where the ribs start. And the last one is that the 12th thoracic vertebra where the it get end, right? So this complete process, this complete part is called our respiratory system, or we can say these are called the ribs bone and the chest bone. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So put the heading sternum or breastbone.
So can you show the above diagram?
Yes, above that. Yes, I'll show that. This.
Trans-
So please keep on writing. Start. It is 15 centimeter long sternum. Sternum is 15 centimeter long. Sternum is 15 centimeter long. Full stop. Its shape is like dagger. Its shape is like dagger. and it is consist of three parts. Its shape is like dagger and it is consist of three parts. Manubrium. It is consist of three parts. Manubrium, body, and xiphoid process. Manubrium, body, and xiphoid process. Full stop. The true ribs are attached to sternum. True ribs are attached to sternum. Full stop. The sternum help in respiratory mechanism. Sternum help in respiratory mechanism. Full stop. For the next subheading, rib cage. This structure is called rib cage. Rib cage. Please note it down. There are 12 pair of ribs. There are 12 pair of ribs which form thoracic cage. Which form thoracic cage. Full stop. Next point. The first 7 pair of ribs. The first 7 pair of ribs are called true ribs. The first 7 pair of ribs are called true ribs. Because their anterior end attaches directly to sternum, attaches directly to sternum by means of small pieces of hyaline cartilage. Underline it. Hyaline cartilage. So whatever you are looking this purple color structure, they are hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage, which are called. So what type of cartilage they are? They are hyaline cartilage. These HYALINE, hyaline cartilage. So the type of cartilage is hyaline cartilage, and they are actually coastal cartilage. So their name hyaline cartilage, which are called coastal cartilage. Which are called coastal cartilage. Next point. 8th, 9th, and 10th pair of ribs. 8th, 9th, and 10th pair of ribs are called false ribs. 8th, 9th, and 10th pair of ribs are called are called false ribs. Full stop. They articulate by coastal cartilage of they articulate by coastal cartilage of seventh ribs. Thus, they articulate with coastal cartilage of seventh ribs. Thus, they attaches indirectly. Thus, they attaches indirectly to sternum. Next point. The last two pairs of ribs are called are called floating ribs because their anterior end are not attached with sternum directly or indirectly. Full stop. Next point, you need to underline it because the question have been already asked in your medical examination. So, full stop. The floating ribs protect kidney. The floating underline. Floating ribs protect kidney. One last point. The function of ribs to protect delicate organ. The function of ribs to protect delicate organ like heart and lungs. Delicate organ like heart and lungs. Full stop. They also help in respiration and provide surface for attachment of muscles. Full stop. Is it clear? Rib case clear? Or any doubt is there? Minashi, clear? Samaira, Atef,
Yes,
clear to all of you? Great. So the next is pectoral girdle, means shoulder part, right? So put the next heading, that is pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdle. Yes. Look, the shoulder part is called actually pectoral girdle. This part is called, the shoulder part is called pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdle is made up of only two parts, two bones, right? Let me make you clear. So this bone is called clavicle bone, which makes actually our shoulder, right? And this second bone is called scapula. This triangular piece, this triangular piece, this triangular piece is called scapula, right? So look, this triangular piece is called actually scapula, right? This scapula have this upper notch, and you here in this upper part. Here is acromion process. Acromion process is that part of this pectoral scapula which attaches with clavicle. Again, here is a cavity which is, here is a depression. So in scapula there is a depression which is called glenoid cavity. On this glenoid cavity, it's a pit-like structure. It's a structure where humerus, mean the bone of the arm, it rotate over here, right? So this is the glenoid cavity, and this is the what called pectoral girdle. So pectoral girdle is actually shoulder which is made up of clavicle and scapula. And again, there is upper part of the scapula that is called acromion process, which attaches with clavicle. Clear? So please put the heading and note it down. Each pectoral girdle, so we have two pectoral, this one and this one, we have two pectoral girdle. Each pectoral girdle is consist of two bones. Each pectoral girdle is consist of two bones, one clavicle and one scapula. One clavicle and one scapula. Full stop. The scapula is called shoulder blade. The scapula is called shoulder blade. This triangular part. The scapula is called shoulder blade, comma, it is a triangular body. Next point, full stop. The anterior surface of scapula, the anterior surface of scapula is called acromion, sorry, is called acromion. Let's stop. The acromion articulate with clavicle. Acromion articulate with clavicle. Full stop. Glenoid cavity is a shallow depression at the point of a scapula where head of humerus bone articulate. Full stop. Clear to all of you? Glenoid cavity is very important for your school examination. But the glenoid cavity, they will ask you. What is the structure of shoulder? They'll ask you. Or pectoral girdle. What is the structure of pectoral girdle? They'll ask you. It's very important for your school examination or written test, and it will be of 3 marks only question. Clear?
Yes.
Fine. So the next is bone of arms. Put the heading bone of arms. So there are actually total 30 bone in our arms, 30 bone in our legs, right? So one leg or one arm have 30 each, have 30 bones. So bones of arm. Let me first make you understand what are the look. Out of these, there are total, I have told you that there are total 30 bones. So we have already discussed this is clavicle, right? So look, every arm have one humerus, one radius, one ulna. Again, so there are ball-like structure carpal which make our wrist. So these are actually wrist bones. So in carpal, there are 4 spherical ball-like structure at there are 2 rows. So they slip on each other. So there are total 8 carpals, right? Again, there are 5 metacarpal and phalanges. So how many phalanges? So phalanges are actually finger structure. So there is a formula: 2 phalanges in thumbs, 3 is to 3 is to 3 is to 3. So how many? 3 4 ja 12 and 12 14. So there are total 14 phalanges. So 14 and 5 19, 19 and 8 19 8 27 28 29 and 30. So total there are 30 bone in each arm, right? Clear? And this 2 is to 3 is to 3 is to 3 is to 3, this is called phalangeal formula. This part is called phalangeal formula. This is called phalangeal formula. Is it clear?
Yes.
Please start
Yes,
noting
sir.
down. Each arm is consist of 30 bones. Each arm is consist of 30 bones. Full stop. One humerus, comma, one radius, one humerus, comma, one radius, one ulna, 8 carpal, 5 metacarpal, and 14 phalanges. Full stop. The phalangeal formula is 2 is to 3 is to 3 is to 3 is to 3. The phalangeal formula is 2 is to 3 is to 3 is to 3 is to 3. Next point, ulna is longer than radius. Ulna is longer than radius. Full stop. The head of radius articulate with humerus, not ulna. The head of radius articulate with humerus. Let's stop. Next point. Each wrist is composed of each wrist is composed of 8 carpels. 8 carpels, which are arranged in two rows. Which are arranged in 2 rows. Full stop. Put the next heading. So is it clear? Bones of arms clear? Take care of phalangeal formula. Phalangeal formula have been asked, and the carpel from the question from the carpel have been asked, right? So next is pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdle means we have already discussed when I was telling you the skeletal diagram. I told you pectoral girdle means we are talking about this hip part, right? So
What do you mean pelvic girdle?
pectoral girdle. Pelvic girdle means yes. Pelvic girdle means hip bones. Pectoral girdle means shoulder bones, and pectoral girdle we have already discussed. So in pectoral girdles, the cavity where the hand moves, that is called glenoid cavity, and in pelvic girdle, that is a hip bone. We have already discussed that we call innominate bone, right? And in hip there is a cavity which is called acetabulum. So acetabulum is a cavity where head of femur articulate, right? So these are actually complementary parts. They have like up to certain extent there are some similarities. So the next one is pelvic girdle. Pelvic girdle. So first let's discuss the diagram. Pelvic girdle. Yes. Oh. Okay. Look, this is pelvic girdle. Look, there are 3 bone: ilium, ischium, and pubis. Ilium, ischium, and pubis. Where is that? Pubic is pubic bone. This is pubic. So these 3 bones make innominate, right? Innominate. So ilium, ischium, and pubis. These collectively they are called innominate bone, right? Means hip bone. So these 3 they mark innominate bone. Mean we are talking about the hip bone. So hip bone, innominate bone is made by ilium, ischium, and pubis. Again, there is a shallow depression, which this shallow depression is called this one, this part. This part is called actually hip joint. So hip joint is also called acetabulum. Acetabulum is a cavity where this femur articulate, this our longest bone, femur articulate. Again, there is here actually here. So basically at this point there is a hole, and this hole, from this hole longest nerve of our body passes, and that is called sciatic nerve, right? So there is a greater notch, this notch-like structure. So there are greater sciatic nerve. So this is called sciatic notch. Sciatic notch. Sciatic notch. So sciatic notch is the notch from where the longest nerve of our body passes through it, right? So that's it. So this was the pelvic girdle. Is it clear? Is noted down?
There is acetabulum similar to glenoid cavity.
Exactly. This is similar to glenoid cavity. And this ilium is similar to scapula, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So please note it down. The pelvis or pelvic girdle. The pelvis or pelvic girdle is formed by two innominate bones in two hip bones. The pelvis or pelvic girdle is formed by two innominate bone. Two innominate bone. Let's stop. Each innominate bone is consist of three separate bones. Each innominate bone is consist of three separate bones. Ilium, ischium, and pubis. Ilium, ischium, and pubis. Let's stop. On its outer surface, it have a deep depression. On its outer surface, it have a deep depression called acetabulum. Where head of femur, articulate, forming head of femur articulate, forming hip joint. Full stop. Next point. Acetabulum is formed by ilium, ischium, and pubis. Acetabulum is formed by ilium, ischium, and pubis. Next point. Underline this point, it's very important. The ilium has one large depression. The ilium has one large depression called greater sciatic notch. Through which sciatic nerve passes. Full stop. Sciatic is longest nerve of body. Next point. The function of pelvic girdle is the function of pelvic girdle is to support posterior region of trunk. Full stop.
The function of pelvic girdle is?
The function of pelvic girdle is to support posterior region of trunk. Full stop. It provide surface for attachment of legs. It provides surface for attachment of legs. So the next part which we will cover in the next class, that will start from the put the heading bones of leg. Bones of leg. So that's it for the day. And please tell me if you have any doubt, any question in today's session. Any doubt, any question? Tell me if you have. Clear? Samara, all clear? Minashi?
Yes, okay.
Okay. Alvia, all clear? Tell me, Alvia. All clear to you? Fine. So see you guys in next class, right?